A, how's it felt, and B, what have you liked about what your team has showed you so far?
Yeah, well, I like the way we compete for sure. I think we've gotten better and better as the games have gone on, and certainly you can see some growing pains, a lot of new pieces. We haven't been quite as consistent as we will be, but it's been great to be back out there. It's great to feel, Beaver Nation again, be reminded of what, how special it is. And I think everybody's loved that for sure. And then we've just had some great moments. 13 blocks the other day. It was nice to see that level of intensity and focus on the defensive end. Not that we were perfect, but the effort was there. The accuracy is increasing. It's got to be the staple of what we do and who we are this year. It has to be. And I'm pleased with where we're at, and the willingness to want to get better. Offensively, we haven't shot the ball probably quite like we can, but I like the way that we're executing to this point. The other night we had way too many turnovers. They were, I would say, I don't want to say careless, because they were a little bit careless. They were, when it was winning time, you could feel those moments in a game. I liked our focus and intensity. We got to the rim, we took care of the ball. Then there were some moments where it looked like, we're playing park and rec out here right now, and I think I'm just going to try this. And no, that's not how this works, And so that discipline that it takes, when you've got as many new pieces as we have, it takes a while to understand that. And so, I'm excited to get back out there tomorrow night and see progress.
For Talia, we talked about what an impact she made last year, reclassifying and coming in. How much does last year matter now when you've got two freshmen in your backcourt and you need someone at that one that maybe has at least some type of calming presence or experience? I know that half a season isn't the same as 4 years with Caleb Pivick, but at the same time, that I would imagine matters some, as opposed to if she were coming in fresh and you're talking about a backcourt that's completely green in that respect.
Well, I think, the reps that she got a year ago pale in comparison to anyone's actual freshman year. It's not even the same. She came in the middle. She didn't have a non-conference. She wasn't in condition. She was in survival mode, bottom line, and was able to help us for a portion of our year. Those lessons that she learned, I think, probably helped her understand the conditioning aspect of what it takes. But she was Aaliyah's sidekick, and now she's running the show. Completely different. And so in the role that she's in, this is brand new to her. She did not have anywhere near the responsibility a year ago that she has now. And so watching her kind of probably understand, Leah was doing a little bit more than I thought, or I didn't think about this before, and I guess this really matters now. Those lessons are, they're coming hard and fast, and I think, you get exposed really quickly if you haven't learned that lesson, if it's the first time through. And so what she's experiencing, actually, in my opinion, is completely brand new to her. And I think she's got a foundation of confidence based upon a year ago. I think that's helpful, but as far as executing and running the team, this is all brand new. And so some of those growing pains are true of any true freshman, and that's what she's experiencing.
Besides the turnovers, anything else that you were trying to fine-tune the last couple of days in practice based on what you saw?
Well, defensive accuracy, for sure. I thought, we were in catch-up mode a little bit. And fortunately, we're long. We're pretty athletic. We have shot blockers around the rim, and so we survived some situations where we were a bit out of position, and that's going to come with more experience as a team. Turnovers were the number one, so just when they did happen, they happened due to people being in the wrong position there too, and just seeing things for the first time, and so just getting everything just a little bit tighter. And as a coach, you just pick your spots. It's like, okay, I love where we were with this, and this, and we've got a lot of stuff in right now, maybe more than I typically do with a team at this point of the year, because the mental capacity of this team is higher than most I've coached. It's very impressive how much they're able to absorb and then use. Now it's going faster. Now it's becoming more efficient in it, getting the right reads. So you're just going through things one at a time, and sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's not. And I loved our post passing last game. I thought we did a great job getting the ball inside and gave our bigs a lot of touches. That was progress over our previous game. We need that obviously to continue. We need to screen a little bit better than we have been. And so it's just one step at a time, really.
When you look at the size of this team and what you saw, as you mentioned, 13 blocks in your opening game, does that open up possibilities for different rotations that you maybe hadn't considered, or the super tall 6 foot depth lineups that you I guess could employ if you really wanted to?
I think I probably need to, just because everybody's wanting that. It's like, could you just put all the tall people out there? Who would play the 1? Who would run that?
That'd be. Would you put Emily, or would you put Ellie in that?
Right, you could put Ellie there. You could put Taylor.
I guess
Taylor wants it, and we talked about that the other night. Maybe we put Taylor there and let her bring it up. And so, what would people do? That would be fun. Now, that's the challenge for us right now with this group is figuring out a rotation and figuring out a lineup and who plays well together. And it's going to continue. I mean, it's just going to evolve as we go and it could be game to game right now. We do have a lot of pieces. They all are, they're all evolving themselves. They're adapting and, figuring life out. And so as they each get better, those rotations will continue to evolve. And so I think it'll be situational, game to game. And I'm somebody that I don't like to get locked in to one thing. I think in a way it's boring. I think it tends to happen once you get into conference, though. You have to execute so efficiently, so perfectly, that you do need the reps with groups together. So it tends to happen in January, February. But right now, I'm open and going to be experimenting with different lineups and different things, and certainly this team has a lot of different ways we could go based upon skill sets and the size that you mentioned.
Cal Baptist specifically, what are you seeing that you need to prepare for them?
Well, a team that went 25-1 last year, and their one, came at the hands of Rice in the WNIT. I can't remember if it was a semifinal or final. I don't know actually, but it was deep in the WNIT, and that was without their point guard, who led the nation in assists last year. And so it would have been an interesting game had she played. And it's a team that when you look at a team that's undefeated and a conference champion, you see a lot of similarities. I don't care the level. This is a Division I basketball team that ran away with their conference last year. Highly efficient offense, highly efficient defense. They do a good job of position defense. They try to keep you away from the basket, not give up left. They do the things that any good team does. Take care of the ball, get the good shots for them. They hit threes. They've got the three-point line going. They've got post players that can score around the rim with either hand, that are good players, and they got a veteran floor leader, so it's just a good team, bottom line. Do they have the size we have? No, they're not quite as big as we are, but man, they're skilled. So I've been nothing but impressed. It's been fun watching them and getting to know them, and I've been looking forward to this game. I mean, you got a champion coming in that expects to win, and when you watch them play, I mean, they got a little swagger to them. I mean, they know they're good, and they play with that confidence, and so it's a team that doesn't beat themselves. We're going to have to win the game, and so it'll be a good test for us.
Mid-majors at this point in the year, really often, if they do pick off teams, it's like having kind of what they do in the tournament, like just barrage of threes that can kind of kill you in that respect. Are they, from what you've seen, like that, where it's, you just got to make sure that they don't get super hot from beyond, or are they a team that can beat you in a more traditional way and play maybe not, I feel like saying in a mid-major way is so pejorative to them, but in a beat you with three.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's their MO. It's, I think the way that they execute offensively, they keep you off balance. They've got, flare screens and curl cuts, and, you take away the three-point line, and next thing you know, you're getting back cut to the rim, and, their fives can step out and shoot it. And so, because of that, you got to guard the 5, which is the mid-major talk that we had after our Western Washington exhibition game, where their 5 stepped out and hit 4 threes against us. So it's got a lot of similarities to that, so I like the speed that they play at, and if you relax for a second, you're giving up something. They see the other side of the floor extremely well, so they take advantage of help. So they just execute really well. So can they get hot from 3? Yeah, they averaged over 9 threes a game last year. So that's what they do. So it'll be a great test. I mean, we're going to have to play a really good game to beat them.
How's Kennedy's adjustment been, just getting back into the swing of things and getting back in a regular season game, and the virtue of kind of slow playing her and taking as much time as possible last year? Is that kind of showing up now in the sense of she doesn't feel rushed, confidence in herself and the knee coming back? I mean, have you sensed that and felt that early on in the year here?
Yeah, I think Kennedy's in a great place. I'm so, amazed by how she handled that entire situation and just managed it all herself and I think she made a lot of the decisions on her own, actually just kind of when, and, I told her from day one, I'm with you, whatever you want to do, whether you want to come back, whether you want to, like you mentioned, slow play it. I wouldn't say it's slow play. I think it just was a logical decision based upon the timing of everything. She didn't want to rush herself back in the middle of the season and miss part of the season, even though it was COVID. I was all in favor of that. To be totally healthy, or mostly, close to 100% at the beginning of the summer, where she had the full off season to, grow with the team and get into condition with the team, and was a really wise decision, I thought. And yeah, she looks normal. She just looks normal, and she's playing normal. For her, she played a lot of 5 in this off season, and now of course we're going to use her at the 4 some, and so managing 2 offensive positions, is always a challenge. And so getting 4, she's actually played more forward games than she has in practice, just by the way it's worked. So that will just continue to evolve because she's so capable out there. The defensive end is just beautiful to watch. That's what we all missed a year ago, was just seeing that stopper that is seemingly always in the right place, making a play, on every rebound, getting blocks. She got that beautiful block, that led to a layup at the other end the other night. So, I'm just super happy for her, but she was as efficient as any player on our roster the other night in our game. And that's just a testament to, how sharp she's remained through this whole ordeal. And to come back 2 years later and play as well as she is already, it's incredible. Happy for her.
Teams that are so strong inside often like to play a little slower, play in a half court and get the ball inside. Do you see a preferred pace for this team, or would you, even with that front court you got, you still want to be fortunate?
It's interesting you asked that, because we were just talking about this in our office, and we were talking about tempo and pace of play and people playing fast, and I just find it to be such a myth. Everybody says, oh, we want to run, we're going to play up tempo. Can somebody tell me the score of the national championship game last year?
It was in 61-59 or something like that?
Trevor, 53-51.
Yeah.
I think national title game, 53-51. The other day, Louisville, Arizona. Arizona beat them. What was the score?
That was 61-59.
Okay,
Yes.
and so we're in the 50s again. Texas just won at Stanford. What was the score of that game?
That was also in the 50s.
56-51. And so when you play against the very best, we're not going to let each other run. You're going to get a turnover and a steal, and you're going to get out and go, and certainly you want maybe those 2 to 3 fast break buckets, and that's the difference. That's what gets you to 60, actually, in those games. And so ultimately, this game comes down to half-court execution. And can we get out and run? Yeah, you saw us the other night. How many fast break buckets did we have? I think we scored close to 20 in transition the other night. I'm a point guard. I want the open court all day long. Get out, sprint the floor. We have 5s. We have a bunch of 5s that can sprint the floor, and we're first post to the rim. I'm telling our point guards, attack till they stop you, go to the rim. We've got shooters everywhere. Of course we're going to play fast. The reality is, it's not, in a way, it's a bit of a myth. And so when you're getting stops, you can run. great teams don't turn it over. So you have to be great at both. We need to be opportunistic. We want to go. We've got posts that can run the floor. We've got guards that have so much skill that can advance it on the bounce, kick aheads. We've got guards that can take it to the rim at the other end in wings. We hit trail threes. So would we like to score before they get back? Yeah, we're looking for it every possession, and we can. But we know that you have to be a great half-court team if you're going to win big. That's the bottom line. Whoever executes in the quarter-court is going to win the biggest games. And that's why, we've got banners. That's why we're the program we are. We've always been able to do both, So the up-tempo style, everybody's going to say it. It is fun, but everybody's also trying to do it. The reality is half-court is where it's at.
Yeah.
That's what you have to be great at that. Non-negotiable.